all over again. But I want to kick off this episode by talking about Khloé Kardashian hacking into her ex's phone. Let's get into Khloé Kardashian. Our girl Khloé Kardashian has been through so much. I mean, look at her past relationships. Lamar and Tristan, they have treated her like crap. She's been publicly embarrassed. I wouldn't be surprised if she never wanted to date again. I can actually see her like forever single and not even in a depressed way. I just feel like Khloé's been there. She's done that. Like at this rate, she is exhausted. So I could see her like avoiding the love world for a while. Remember when that one teacher from like San Diego made a video asking to take her out? I really wish that actually happened.
So since my post kind of blew up and your comment went a little viral, my entire town knows about it. My students keep bugging me about it, and my family group chat's just been nonstop. I figured, why not shoot my shot? This Saturday I have a staff holiday party, and I would absolutely love if you came as my date. If you can't make that work, then maybe Chris could add me to your holiday party.
That actually would have been so cute, but do you imagine Khloé Kardashian dating a normie? Ugh, no, I don't think any of the Kardashian Jenners would ever be spotted with a normie. I mean, even their brother, Robert Kardashian, is over here hooking up with like what, Black Chinas of the world. And shout out to Rob, I just made a video about him recently on my main channel, Sloan, where we talked about his sisters harvesting his fat for their surgeries. Yes, you know, they don't want to gain the weight for the BBL, but it's fine because Rob's got enough of it, which, do I think that's true? No, I think you have to have the same cell, right? Like, you can't be just brother and sisters, but maybe comment below. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not a surgeon. Khloé Kardashian recently revealed how she hacked voicemails and social media trackers. Now, I can make a YouTube video, right? That's pretty much the end of my technical abilities. What do you mean hacking voicemails? Khloé Kardashian has built a career across many different lanes. She's got her popcorn, her podcast, her gyms. Actually, she's really killing it. Now, remember, Lamar was cheating in a motel in Los Angeles, California. That much is clear, but what wasn't clear is how Khloé was able to find him. She said it started online. People were talking. Her instincts told her to keep going until she had a location. That trail led Khloé to the front desk in a downtown LA motel where she asked if her husband was staying there. And Khloé is such a detective, like, I mean, this sounds pretty badass. She was able to locate which room he was in because she, you know, told the front desk, I'm his wife, of course I'm going to be here. And she peeked through the window and guess what she saw? She said they were either naked or in lingerie. First, she spotted them, then they noticed her, and it prompted a reaction from Lamar. Of course, he's like, wait, Khloé, it's not what you think. Khloé went ballistic in that moment, and that was one of the biggest rifts in their relationship, which ultimately is trashed now. I mean, we all saw that documentary where he pretty much admitted to just being with Khloé Kardashian, and, you know, remember, they met and they dated for like a month, and then they got engaged, and like the marriage happened so quickly. And the reason why it happened quickly wasn't because he was in love with her. He was in love with the idea of getting the fame from her family and from herself. And that's such a sad realization for Khloé to accept.
You know, the first night, I'll be honest, I was trying to her the first night. She's like, no, it ain't that type of party. Got with her the next day, and then the next day, turned the next day, and then the next day, turned the next day. And she married me.
Oh my God.
As much as I could say I know her, or, you know, I knew her, but I don't really know the person in 30 days. Yeah, it's crazy. You gotta have a gut feeling, like a big dick, some big balls.
Came and talked to me for 2 hours. He was explaining like, the move that he's doing. He was doing it to try to better his future.
I'm already Lamar older, and I'm just kind of like watching how she live and their lifestyle. I'm like, I know this is where I want to be. Like, this is how I want to live.
They know mad people. They got mad connections.
Now, Khloé's admitted that she's gone far to get intel on a guy. Comment below, what's the most you've done? I feel like, you know, you Google their name, see if they've got any criminal records, maybe look at their Instagrams, maybe look at their Facebook if you really like them. But she claims she's hacked into voicemails. She's put trackers onto cars, and she's not proud of it. Oh, poor Khloé. I mean, you've been through hell and back. I don't mind. You hack into it because you always end up finding something. So she's right, you know? So she's got a reason to hack into it. She says it's an obsession and an addiction. Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, if it's an addiction, maybe we need to seek help. And it's the best thing when you're free of that. And I pray that I'm never back there again. Now you might be curious, where did Khloé learn this behavior? How did she learn? Was it Kris Jenner teach? Was it Caitlyn? Like, who taught Khloé? Well, maybe she learned some things from her sister, Kim.
To do something. Kim, call him. How am I gonna call him? I don't know. You always like our FBI agent. Okay, wait, let's try and break into his voicemail. I have so many tricks up my sleeve. No one wants to mess with me.
Like, is this real? Can you break into people's voicemails? Also, like, my voicemail, I think it's like filled. And it's all these like robo thing. Oh my gosh. Leave me alone, Spectrum.
Give me his number, and I'm gonna use the Secret Service to call his own phone from his own number, his home number.
This feature allows you to review messages that you have previously
I got into his voicemail.
To review messages that you erased while using First, under
Wait, it almost feels real because look at how they're acting. I feel like back in the day, they used to have at least some more real moments, right?
Hey Rashad, had a good time last night. Can't wait to hook up again so we can have an even better time.
Khloé, we just see the look on her face, and she is just goes blank. I mean, I can't handle this.
Poor Khloé, she's been going through it since day one, since the beginning of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She's had relationship issues. So actually one day I really hope that she finds that love of her life, but I can also see her just being single forever and happily so. Let's get into Pete Davidson. Before we get into Kylie and Kendall's crazy date night, I do want to talk to you guys about what's going on with Pete Davidson because he has gone through so much in his life. I feel bad for him. He's been at rock bottom several times. I mean, he's got the family trauma of his dad passing away in 9/11, which has been a big part of his comedy skits. And then, of course, we've seen him date Kim Kardashian. At that point, Kanye was threatening to like kill him at every corner. So it seems like he was maybe a little paranoid there. And he's also had issues with his mental health and with addiction. So Pete has been through it, but you know what? He thrived on SNL and then he decided to take a step away. Then he slowly started to remove his tattoos. He got into a new relationship and it kind of seemed like Pete was healing. But from these recent updates, it seems like Pete is back at square one. I was hoping him having a daughter would really like change him, but I don't think that's the case. It's kind of scared him away. His partner, Elsie Hewitt, says that she's raising her daughter alone after the Pete Davidson split, which is crazy because we spoke about them potentially breaking up for months in my blind item breakdown videos, and here we are. Now this breakup is happening just months after their daughter, Scotty Rose, was born. I don't really know where Elsie came from. I mean, from the blind items, it seems like she's been a little bit suspicious, but you know what? I'm not going to judge her off of a blind item. They say that she's sketchy and she's trying to score his fortune. I'm over here saying what fortune's left at this point, but the sources are saying that Elsie fought hard for this relationship. Pete was the one who decided that he was done, which is, I mean, a big choice, especially because he just had a daughter, and is he going to be in his daughter's life? I mean, according to Elsie, it seems like she's trying to make him seem like a deadbeat father. Reportedly, having a baby was really hard on the couple. It looks like the two weren't even together for that long or had a steady relationship before Elsie got pregnant. The source says they confused intense chemistry with long-term compatibility. They thought having a baby would be exciting and bring them closer. The reality, it was the complete opposite. Parenthood is hard, and if you can't handle the hard moments, then of course you can't raise a kid together. It seems like they were just in bliss in this honeymoon phase and never really had any challenges until the baby came forth. Poor Scotty Rose. And that name. Just kidding. It's cute. Scotty is cute. Elsie spoke about her recent paparazzi photos and revealed that she was raising her baby alone after separating from Pete. She said, "I'm doing it on my own, which is hard," she said in a TikTok video. So she's publicly talking about this. One person asked in the comments, "I hope you don't mean that you're doing the financial part alone. That would be insane given the circumstances," because I believe that she's a normal person and that he's, you know, obviously a celebrity. But she replied in a now deleted comment, "I am." Like I said, Elsie is being extra active on social media. Maybe she can get into like a social media career or a TikTok career, but either way, I do think it's kind of like messed up to have I think it's absolutely messed up to have a child with someone and then just leave it for like the mom to take care of, or even if it was vice versa. I just don't think that like abandoning the child is a great move, because you are now responsible, Pete, whether you want to be or not. And if you don't want to be, at least cough up the coin. We know you got a little bit. You've been doing some tours recently.
The house looked nicer yesterday. I should have known that that was gonna happen. But that's not what I'm thinking about right now, because I have a baby to take care of. And I also have to work and make money. And I'm doing it on my own, which is hard.
The comment sections are popping off. This person writes, "Girl, child support. That man was a walking red flag. What? Pete Davidson couldn't commit to a relationship? I'm shocked," said no one.
Never in a million years would I have ever thought that Pete Davidson would allegedly turn out to be a deadbeat dad. Elsie and Pete had a whirlwind romance, and yes, things did happen a little fast. They hard launched their relationship March of last year, and 4 months after that, they announced that they were expecting their first child together. Then just 5 months after Elsie gave birth, tabloids reported that Pete and Elsie had called it quits, which is not surprising. It is unfortunate, but it's not surprising. Elsie and Pete were in the stages of getting to know each other in their relationship to then go through a massive milestone such as welcoming a child together. That is a lot on their relationship, but here's where it actually gets messed up, in my opinion. Elsie posted a video talking about some recent paparazzi photos that were snapped of her, and she's like, "Yeah, I know I look rough, but I'm doing this alone and also managing X, Y, and Z." Elsie responded to some comments under her video, which looks like the comments from Elsie have now been deleted, but she responded to a comment saying that she's also doing the financial aspect alone, and agreed with a comment that said, "If your partner leaves you while you're postpartum, that is loser behavior." Now,
it does seem like Pete Davidson is a playboy. I mean, at one point he was with Kim Kardashian and got her kids' like initials tattooed on him. He's done some weird things, but bringing a baby into it is going a little bit too far. Ew, also side note, we're not even going to include this, but like there is a joke he made in one of his shows where he like spoke about watching adult content with his daughter around, like watching like I don't even want to go any further, but yeah, major red flags. Now, one thing about Pete is that he does not want to be known as a deadbeat father. So Pete is denying what Elsie's saying here. Pete has made himself extremely available, the source says. He's provided full financial support. Pete is actually covering all of Scotty Rose's costs and more. He's hoping Elsie has good health and success for the sake of their daughter. That is such a weird thing to say to someone who you just had a breakup with, you just had a baby with, and you've got what? He's hoping that Elsie has good health and success for the sake of their daughter. Because she's what? The one raising the daughter? He has been paying for everything related to Elsie and Scotty, including the rent, living expenses, their insurance, the source says. They may have split, but all he wants for Elsie is to be happy and in a good place. His main priority right now is making sure that Elsie and Scotty are looked after, so it's utterly confusing to everyone who knows them why she would possibly post anything about him not supporting her. Obviously, they've had personal disagreements, and there has been a breakdown in this relationship, but he's fully committed to being a good dad. See, that's what's right there. I wonder if if this was probably a publicist who gave this statement to Page 6. They say that Elsie's stories on social media are not the reality at all. The truth is, he's actually paying for everything. Pete's doing everything to be super supportive of Elsie. He's changed his schedule. He's done everything he can to be there physically and financially so Elsie can feel supported. So they're trying to say that, Elsie, you are in a dream position right now. Your life is being funded. Your kid is taken care of. You just keep this baby alive, and Pete is a happy man. Poor baby Scotty. I do feel bad for her being in the middle of this. I mean, granted, she's like months old, so she doesn't realize what's going on here, but maybe she does. I mean, I feel like babies can pick up on vibes. As far as her parents getting back together, the sources say they are done. There have been problems throughout their relationship, and things are not good between them at all. They haven't been for a while. They tried working it out, but decided it was best to go separate ways. Interestingly enough, it looks like Elsie's still been active on social media. She posted for a job position, which is kind of weird to do on social media. It's kind of giving James Charles energy. I'm currently trying to find an assistant, mother's helper, nanny type, basically a right-hand person. Apply here if qualified and serious, only looking for responses with resumes. And of course, it is a paid position, so it looks like she's looking for a nanny. To give you guys an idea of where we were and where we are now, here is a clip of Elsie talking about her relationship with Pete that did not age well.
I
like could not ask for a better like father for my child. Like I'm so happy it's him. We're both very conscious of not putting pressure on this whole thing of like this child is gonna fill a void or like be this thing that I never had type thing. But I do think that there is this really healing aspect of knowing that we're going to be able to give a child the lives that we didn't have, and the support and the love and like the family vibe that we don't feel like we had. And so I think it is important to strike that balance of, like I say, not adding that pressure.
If you guys are curious to how Pete is handling all this, I mean, going from this woman praising him as such a great man to now being broken up with, I mean, he's got mental health issues, he's got trauma. Headlines say that Pete Davidson is doing really well. Actually, he is thriving. They say that he's never smiled more. He sounded better than he has this past week. It sounds like he's in the best position he's ever been, which is kind of crazy. But you know what? It's good to hear that Pete is doing well after so much. Just make sure that baby is taken care of. Let's get into Kendall and Kylie's double date. I feel like we are back in 2007 because we're talking about Jessica Simpson in this episode and Britney Spears, but also because of the energy that Kendall and Kylie are giving off during their double date. It reminds me of like when Britney and Paris and Lindsay were all seen in the car together. They're young, they're successful, they're rich, they're famous, and they are out here just partying. We've got Jacob behind the wheel, Kendall is in the passenger seat, and of course Timothée and Kylie opted for the back. Over the weekend, Jacob, Kendall, Kylie, Timothée were on a double date, and it's so interesting because you can see like Kylie and Kendall getting their actor boyfriends, showing them off. It's just like very like OG Kardashian energy. I feel like Kim should give some more of this, but I'm so just over Lewis Hamilton. Comment below if you like their relationship. I'm just not buying it. One person says Kylie's cracking up because she knows it's iconic. The double date we'd love to be a fly on the wall of. I mean, imagine. Kylie and Timothée laughing in the back is everything to me. This is my Roman empire. And of course, it's giving the Lindsay, Paris, Britney, Y2K wild night out.
Why is Kendall Jenner, Jacob Elordi, Kylie Jenner, and Timothée Chalamet shielding themselves from the paparazzi, giving this iconic pop culture photo? Now, this picture is in a league of its own, but this right here is our confirmation with the K that Kendall Jenner and Jacob Elordi are together.
We all know that Kylie and Timothée are in it for real, but we didn't know if Kendall and Jacob were just playing pretend for the headlines. The source says they have a lot of fun together, and the two have similar personalities and lifestyles, so they get along very easily. They were also spotted in Hawaii recently. Now, I love Hawaii. I think it is one of the most beautiful places. You have to go and be very respectful and, you know, meet the locals and like learn the culture. It's an experience, but it's such a beautiful place to be. And they were at Kauai, Hawaii, and there were photos posted of them together on vacation. Now, this isn't new. We saw them together at Coachella, supposedly making out, but going on vacation together is a big deal, and they chose Hawaii as their first one, it seems. A source says that it's been easy and that they get along because they're both low-key and they take their careers seriously. Now, I do feel like this is a major win for Kendall Jenner because he is probably one of the more elite, right? I mean, I know she's been with like Harry Styles back in the day, but in recent history, she's been with like, oh no, Bad Bunny. Not me playing. I just never thought that that relationship was real though. You know what I mean? Like, I just like, what did they talk about? I don't, yeah, anyways, I forgot she was with Bad Bunny, and he's a bigger star than I think even Jacob Elordi is, right? What do you guys think in the comments below? Bad Bunny's definitely like a bigger star, but I just don't see Kendall and him together. I really don't. Let's get into Kim Kardashian. Let's just keep it in the Kardashian sphere and get through some of these because I do want to talk a little bit about Lewis Hamilton some more. You guys are probably like, wait, Sloan, you just said that you're so not into him, and I'm not. But I'm not just the only one. Kim's ex Kanye reportedly cannot accept that Kim and Lewis are together. According to a source, Kanye has been trying to manipulate Lewis Hamilton against Kim Kardashian, trying to turn her boyfriend against her. Whew, that's a big move. I mean, Get over it, Kanye. Go and enjoy your life with Bianca. Kanye has been accused of trying to break up Kim and Lewis's relationship, and I don't understand why he is so invested at this point. He's so obsessed with her. More than once, Kanye has gotten Lewis on the phone to spill all sorts of private details about Kim that paint her in a very bad light. He's telling Lewis that he's only doing this to look out for him. So he's over here telling Kim's current boyfriend all of her dirty laundry from their marriage to try to get Lewis to have the ick against Kim. Kanye and Lewis did have a relationship obviously before Kim and Lewis got together, and it seems like Kanye cannot accept any time that Kim tries to move on. I mean, you saw what Kanye did to Pete Davidson. The source claims that Kanye seems to be threatened by Lewis's personality and his career growth. I mean, Lewis is also like a driver. You can't compare where you can't compete where you can't compare, right? He has allegedly been doing everything he can to break up the couple. Kanye knows that Lewis isn't going to be easily intimidated, but this is all about trying to control Kim and keep her single forever. Kanye really needs to get over it and leave Kim alone. I mean, now Kim is just feeling stressed out. She was blamed for Lewis losing the race in Japan. She was there, and a lot of people suspected that her presence is what, kind of messed with his game. So it seems like Lewis is hearing from all different angles. Kanye is telling him some dirty and disgusting things about Kim. We've got the people in the sportsmanship in the race telling him, hey, I think she's bad luck. And then of course we've got his mother, Lewis Hamilton's mother, is not a fan of Kim either. So she's really going against all of these forces. And for once, I'm kind of on her side. Screw you, Kanye. Let's get into the Pussycat Dolls. I'm actually looking forward to seeing the Pussycat Dolls perform at We Hope Pride this year. Yes, West Hollywood Pride in Los Angeles. It's the first weekend of June. I'm actually going to be able to see the Pussycat Dolls perform at West Hollywood Pride, but most people won't be seeing them perform because they had to cancel their tour. Kind of like Meghan Trainor, she didn't sell enough tickets, so she had to cancel her tour. The Pussycat Dolls had to go and cancel theirs. And Nicole Scherzinger, I think I said that right, she is now disappointed that they aren't hitting the road because they didn't sell enough tickets. According to the source, Business Insiders believe the group may have been too ambitious trying to fill massive venues like Madison Square Garden right out the gate after being away for 15 years. And their newest song, Club Song, didn't really pop off. I mean, I like it, but it's nothing like the past. Page 6 reported that the Pussycat Dolls have a low ticket audience brand, meaning that they need to keep prices very low to move ticket sales. They're also facing what's called the blue dot fever, a term for seeing way too many unsold seats on digital charts. So it's like when you go to, what's it called? Ticketmaster, and you see all the blue dots all over the screen. You're like, wait, do I even want to go to this show? Because it looks like no one is going. It's not just them, like Meghan Trainor. Post Malone, who I feel was so huge back in the day, now he's struggling to sell tickets. He had to pause his show. Zayn Malik. So I think that these artists need to realize how the economy is affecting these things. People don't have that type of money. The tickets are just way too expensive. Nobody has this type of money. We want to go and do things, people, but it's just all too expensive. I wanted to go see Zara Larsson, but it's I can't justify those kind of things sometimes. So it's really upsetting, but I think that the music industry needs to have a wake-up call on how different people live their lives. The 1%'s a little bit too different of a scale nowadays. No one can afford to go.
I'm sorry, but why is this happening? I saw Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard, and she was incredible, and she just did her concert at the Royal Albert Hall. She was incredible. Nicole Scherzinger does not need to be doing the Pussycat Dolls Forever Tour. Also, let's be real, no one even knows who the other Pussycat Dolls are, except for maybe Melody, and she's not even going. There was 6 original members, and they have 3 going on this tour. Why is this happening? Nicole, she's in her own lane right now. She just won the Tony. She can be going and doing her own movies. She does not need to be doing this. And why are we acting like this needs to be a thing? She did all of the vocals. What are these other 2 girls gonna do? On Doll Domination, she did all the backing vocals too. It makes no sense.
As for Nicole, it looks like she is disappointed. She was really excited to get back out there with Ashley and Kimberly to celebrate a new era, but now she feels like they didn't get a chance to showcase what they can do. And I'm sure that they can go and perform really well and they can give us all we want to see, but at the same time, in this new digital era, why don't you go and film that on TikTok like a few times and then get people excited and they can see what you can do on TikTok and then they want to go and see your shows. I mean, I know it sounds kind of annoying, Nicole, but that's kind of how the new world works. We see people online, they go viral, people are like, wait, I want to go see that in person, and they do. But I feel like they're right here trying to talk a big game without giving us anything to work with. Let's get into Jessica Simpson. So right now, Jessica Simpson is being slammed online, and I really need those who have children to chime in. This is for the moms. Okay, so Jessica Simpson is being slammed for flying first class while her kids sat in coach, which is such a first world, rich person problem to have, huh? The report says that Jessica Simpson's facing intense online scrutiny over her travel habits after a surprising detail about a family flight came to light. Her first husband, Nick Lachey, recently made headlines about sharing an unexpected run-in with the former couple. They had a trip to Hawaii. According to Nick Lachey's appearance on Watch What Happens Live, the exes crossed paths after 20 years apart, but it was his reveal about Jessica's kids that sparked a massive parenting debate on social media. So Nick Lachey says that he and his wife and his 3 kids were all flying in first class. Jessica was also in first class with her mother, Tina, but it looks like her estranged husband, Eric, and their 3 children were not with them. It looks like they were in a separate class of service, Nick says, which, you know what? Jessica Simpson's estranged husband, Eric, has had enough of her money. First class is really expensive. It could be like $10,000 per ticket, depending on where you're going. And I don't think that the kids, do kids need first class? Unlimited drinks and things like that? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that either. Plus, the kids are in the back with their father. They're doing just fine. This person shared the parents in Home Alone did this and nobody demonizes them. I just don't think that the kids necessarily need, especially if they're kids, those seats are just big enough for you. Some of those seats in the real back are really tight. Oh, I just was on a plane 2 days ago and it was so tight. My knees were knocking and then they leaned back. I was like, just go ahead and just, get rid of my legs at this point because they were not comfortable. But yeah, first class sounds really nice. Kids don't need to have thousands and thousands of dollar tickets to get on a plane. Maybe maybe because I'm not a parent. Okay, comment below. I mean, it depends how old the kids are. I'm not gonna have a kid in the back. But if you got a 15-year-old with a 12-year-old, they can handle being back a few rows. I don't know. Maybe I'm heartless. Should I not be a parent?
After 20 years, Nick Lachey is still throwing shade at Jessica Simpson. And to be clear, I never liked this marriage when Newlyweds was on. He was always condescending towards her and taking shots at her. But okay, so they were recently awkwardly on a flight to Hawaii, which is about 6 hours. And he had his family in first class. He made sure for everyone to know. And then he was like, and Jessica was also in first class, but her kids were in coach. And I'm just curious on why he felt like people needed to know that. I'm curious on, why are we even discussing this? I just find, he just had to get that in there. And Jessica's been through the ringer, she just got divorced. There's just, a lot going on with Jessica's life. She's in her healing journey. And Nick, if you're so great and life is so good, why did you have to take that shot at her? It was completely unnecessary.
Let's get into Britney Spears. So Britney Spears has been enjoying her freedom after rehab, and by enjoying it, I mean really enjoying it. She's been running around having a blast, I guess. This headline says Britney Spears has become risky for LA restaurants. They say that Britney could reportedly not be welcomed at high-end LA restaurants. The source claimed that she has been labeled risky. Because she was at a restaurant in Sherman Oaks. She began supposedly screaming and barking and holding a knife, which some people at the restaurant thought that she was going to stab top of them. I'm like, chill, people. Like, do you not know who Britney Spears is? She just likes to hold a knife. Like, she has trust issues. She's not gonna stab you as long as you don't try to mess with her. The source says that Britney has become something very different, too unpredictable, too chaotic, and honestly too toxic for the restaurant room. Restaurant owners have been terrified of dealing with controversies related to her. They reportedly would not want to go into damage control mode because of one erratic moment. They're scared that a guest could record some of Britney's actions and post them on TikTok, which could harm the restaurant's reputation. Or, I mean, if I saw a video of Britney going crazy at a restaurant, I'd be going back the next day and I'll have the Britney. What did she order? Just give me the same thing. If Britney walks in and things spiral, a source claims, it changes the entire atmosphere instantly. Guests don't feel relaxed anymore. They mentioned that it could seemingly happen because these luxury diners mostly provide exclusivity and discretion to their guests. Right now, many owners simply see her as bad for business. Could we give Britney a break? Like, why does everything about her every move have to be about business? See, this is why I understand why she's frustrated. Even though I do believe that there is a media narrative being pushed, I think that her team is trying to lock her back up again. Her social media posts and her behavior does not help these media narratives. It kind of feeds into them, and it seems like she's kind of in a toxic loop.
Britney Spears' team didn't just deny a story, they issued a warning. TMZ reported that Britney was seen at Sherman Oaks restaurant on Wednesday night screaming, barking and holding a knife. Her rep came out immediately and said the whole thing was blown out of proportion. She was telling a story about a dog, she was cutting her hamburger. It's all entirely plausible, but then the statement did something very deliberate. It invoked 2006. It said that this is exactly what happened 20 years ago when the media tried to depict Britney as a bad person, and it needs to stop now. That line wasn't for the public, it was directed at the press. It was a warning about where this specific narrative leads when it gets momentum. And
she posted this video onto Instagram right after the incident, and it's kind of like, wait, Britney, do you think that this is going to help your case? Because it's usually not. Her Instagram usually fuels the narrative even further. So we're hoping that Britney can heal this year and maybe things can get, just get it together. But we're sending her good vibes. Let's get into Meghan Markle. Oh, Meghan Markle, get over it. She's humiliated. Oh, humiliated that she wasn't at the Met Gala. Meghan Markle has been upset over the Met Gala 2026 snub. According to an insider, she was hoping that Anna Wintour would invite her to the fashion event, but she didn't. And now she feels humiliated. Oh. Poor Meg, what are we gonna do? Humiliation is such a crazy word to be using in this situation. Maybe just like a little bit like sad, like irrelevant. Like, I think it's just you're a little bit irrelevant maybe right now. The Netflix show didn't really do the numbers we needed it to. Behind the scenes, the snub has absolutely been interpreted as more than just a missed invitation. For Meghan, it was seen as a very visible statement about where she currently stands in Hollywood and in fashion circles. She doesn't really stand in any of them. A source mentioned that Meghan seemed to think that her relationship with Anna Wintour improved after Paris Fashion Week. They met in November 2025 and they greeted each other warmly. But remember, Meghan Markle was going viral for all the wrong reasons for being at Paris Fashion Week, and I feel like the public kind of spoke for Anna Wintour. Meghan was looking forward to making her debut with her husband at the gala this year, but the snub has hit her very hard emotionally, which I think is a little bit ridiculous. People, we're talking about a Met Gala. There are so many horrific things happening in this world. If this is your biggest concern, thank God you're no longer I don't know if the royal family makes any rules or anything, but I would hope that if this is what's really hitting her emotionally, there's so many bigger problems, right, people?
I just felt like the Met Gala, I can't even believe I'm gonna say this, but seeing her iced out in such force while someone like Blake Lively was there, I was a little embarrassed for her. And I'd heard that too. I've had friends that know Anna Wintour tell me that Anna is choosing the future. Anna's choosing the working royals. She's always been a monarchist, and she sees Prince William and Catherine children is the future, and she's not going to do anything to just jeopardize that.
That is all I have for you guys for the Let's Get Into It podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Maybe refresh the page, get the podcast another view, because the podcast numbers has been a little bit dismal. I don't know what's going on. So let me know in the comments below. Do you guys have some suggestions on how we could improve the show? Are you not liking things? What are things that you are liking? Maybe some positive, so I don't go, ugh, like freak out. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun filming it, and I will see you all